Hi everyone, so here's to a follow-up video that I did on the fillet tool. So as you've probably noticed in that video, I did one fillet all the way around here, and I'd like to have that around here. And I kept thinking about how this would be done the easiest way, because that question is valid as we have, let's see, 7 spokes around here, and we've got 5 wheel nuts. That means that the holes for the wheel nuts, for the lug nuts, however you want to call them, will intersect the geometry in different areas, as you've probably noticed. So it's not going to be as easy to do this variable fillet around here. But one easy way to do it is getting this geometry rotated around here and then realigning these. And let's do that in this first attempt, and then I'll show you a second attempt of how we can get this sorted out. So let's dig into the first version. What I want to do is take these fillets and select all of them, as you have noticed, and I'll copy and paste them, and I've hidden everything else. And you see the pivot is the same as on the object, which is cool. That means that I can go ahead and go into edit, duplicate, object, and then type in 4 objects. I want copies. The scaling stays at 1, and the rotation will be 72 degrees. And why 72? For the beginners, 360 degrees, so full circle divided by 5 gives you exactly 72 degrees. And since we want to rotate in this direction just like the wheel, that means around the y-axis, but it's set up as local to that pivot, and this comes by default. So your pivot, as I said in one of the videos, the pivot is one defining motion in this space. So let's type in 72, and I'll duplicate that. And there we have that. And you'll see in some areas, especially here at the bottom, we're quite close. And at the top here, we're quite far away. So what I'll do, realigning this is not going to be the easiest way to do it, but who will stop us from trying, right? So what I want to do there is get those hidden, get these surfaces here, and we'll do the tedious way first, because I thought I'm going to be smart and do this and really quickly have it done. But as it turns out, it's not the case. But don't worry, we'll get there. So we know here at the bottom everything seems pretty similar, and what this would allow us to do is actually go ahead and rebuild the fillets, because that's going to be the easiest option in this area. So I know I want to have here at the top, what I want to have here at the top is this value, so it looks similar, and for that we need to evaluate that, measure curve to curve in this situation, and we know we've got somewhere around 4.3 here. You can also take a line tool and measure it up, and we know we've got 4.4. Okay, so I'll demonstrate this on this area. And the way I'm going to do it is actually like this. Look at it in this view and aligning these surfaces at the bottom, and at the top we'll have to build them, so it's going to be a bit of a hybrid modeling technique here. So let's align G2 by projection, And what I want to do is actually extend this one back up to that point, and this one all the way there. And I'll align this to this by projecting this one here. And that's how we can do it for these surfaces, starting from somewhere around here all the way to here. Because you see, these are already sticking out, so we're not really interested in those. And this is the same. So pick template this one. There we go. Now I might as well revert that alignment there, because I want to extend this back here. This one goes all the way there. It's going to be quite a lot of manual labor involved here. This surface here, well, it can stay. And let's go ahead and align this here. This one here. This one will align itself to that edge first. Let's do this one the easy way. So let's bring this down to 2 CVs. And I was hoping to be slick here, but it turns out there's going to be a lot of work. But that's why we do this. This is how we learn. So let's align this tangent. One of the first mistakes that I've done is that I should first go and align this position to this one and turn on blending and blend the CV rows so it actually moves these across, so it shifts them. It's shifting them across. Okay, now this should be G2. This we can align G2 to this one. And this one gets aligned G2 to this one. And now we have to check these 2 surfaces out. So that's working nicely there. Well, here it's a bit odd, because we've got that dip there. So the first row of CVs looks decent, but that row doesn't look good. So I'll go ahead and align this surface to this one, to its edge. And now that has cleaned it up. And I'll realign now this by projecting it onto this surface here. And I might add, let's see, 1 more CV there. That's it. So that one is done. That's cool. We don't need this bit anymore, so we can discard that. Now, this surface here, well, that one needs some attention as well. And I'll project here onto these two surfaces, that edge there, and delete its history. And I'll go ahead and align this surface here to the edge, clicking on that edge there and that one as well. Alias has this capability of aligning to two edges, and even if they're divided, let's say. So this will allow me to discard that bit. And now I'll align this by projecting it to this surface. And as you can see, this surface is sticking through this one. So I'll do that intersection there. And I'll make sure I extend it back by a bit so it looks similar length to this one. Let's leave that curved surface there, and I'll align G to this surface by projection to this one. And the same on this side. And now these will have to get used to the fact that they're almost obsolete. So what we will do is go ahead into the fillet tool, click on these two surfaces first, but I'll save up so I'm avoiding the crash. And do this. And let's click on build. Let's bring up the options on this. I'll go into surfaces, and you see this tool is selected. And I'll click here on that little square, and let's bring this down to 4.4. And I'll use the default setting there. This one's working quite nicely. Interior, I'll leave it at default. And now I'm going to click on variable fillets. So I want variable fillets working on this. And I want this to stay 4.4 here. So I'll add one controller around this area. And at the end, I want to add one here. And I will be scaling it out to that size there. And that has done that bit there. And now we will have to go into some more manual building. So I'll bring in here a blend, freeform blend basically from here all the way to here. And I want to inspect the CV layout on that. And you see this is coming out a lot more than this one. So I'd expect this CV to be sitting somewhere more inboard and this one more inboard. And this gives us the chance to go into the fillet tool again and pull this a little bit back. Now this surface, we don't need it anymore. So it's just control surface. And let's see what this one brings up. That's a lot nicer. This is what I'm looking for. What I want to do now is take that, delete it, bring this back all the way there. I'll align it curvature here, project it, edge alignment first, and then I'll project align this to this here, so we know we can trim that bit back. And now we have to take care of this area here, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but that's life, right? We can't have it all the time. So what I want to do is go ahead here and extend without merge. And I'll go ahead and extend this, blend back all the way down to here. To get this intersection, I'm using Control-Alt, press down, and I'm pulling along the line. Now I'll extend with merge turned on the big surface down to that area there. And let's see if this is connected. It's not, so I'll do an edge alignment of this surface to this edge there. That's it. Now align this to this, making sure that it's still working nicely. So that's aligned there. Let's get rid of these templates because we don't need them. So I'll delete them at the moment. So we've got this surface here. And now what I'll do, I'll extend without merge the big blend all the way to that area there, just as I've done before. And now the big blend gets extended back to that point, and this little bit here gets a project alignment onto that surface. And this gets an edge alignment there. This gets trimmed back. So we've got this going across quite a few surfaces. So as we can see, this is not an ideal situation, but we will deal with that as we get there. I'll trim this, as I want to delete only this bit of it. And on this surface here, that's all good. That surface, we want to keep these bits and not the one at the top that was done by mistake. Now what we could do is just simply go ahead and project in the side view on these surfaces, this edge, trim them back. There we go. Now this is a very sloppy way of doing this. If you want to do just a quick visualization, that would be okay-ish. But you see, got this little here, this little thing here, I'm not so happy about. So there are a few areas that I'm not happy about because I've done them really fast, and I will want to come back to that, and that will be part of the other way of doing these radii. But as a principle, what we could do now is take this surface, cut it, and paste it back again, and now we just extend it back all the way there. Paste it back in there, extend it back, newly pasted one down there. I'll paste it again. So basically copy pasting it, because what I want to do is getting these bits in, and the reason why I'm doing that is I know that here it's all aligned, so it's something that I don't need to take care of anymore. And I'll just align these areas, and I'm edge aligning them, and I'll drop in here blend, curvature to curvature, and I'm really hoping that this works out, at least tangent. So that is okay there. I'll just need to bring this back. And one more. And one of the reasons why that might not be at least position is because we might not have this aligned here properly. This is what you get when you're in a rush and you're not paying much attention. And you can see those are some bits that are not working well, but these are working, so I'll accept that deviation there as these are working. So I've got that bit in, which is cool. And now the next bit that I want to do is I will be dropping in here a normal draft, and I'll extend this out these directions because I want to extend this radius here and trim convert it by using that intersection with this big draft. And I don't need this anymore at the moment. And I'll go ahead and align this. First delete the curved surface because I don't need it, and I'll align this here. And let's go into the settings of that surface. That's enough. Now what I would be doing is basically doing the same thing. One radius going across here, going from 4.4, increasing it and doing exactly what I've done here. So I'm not going to bore you with that. Let's jump into the other way of doing this. And that would be actually cleaning up the base geometry so we don't have these problems. So that's going to be a little bit more tedious, but it's worth it. So stick with me in this next chapter of this video.